Hey everyone, welcome to JUENFO Kitchen where we just enjoy food. On today's menu we have flavorful juicy jerk chicken done in the oven with festivals on the side. Okay, so I'm going to start off by doing a dry rub for my chicken. I'm doing both a dry rub as well as a wet marinade for my chicken today. So I'm going to start off with more or less of a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, and some salt. I'm using sea salt, and as you can see I'm just eyeballing the ingredients, but I'll do my best to list the measurements below. I'm mixing that to get my ingredients nicely incorporated. So here I have my chicken that I spatchcocked earlier, as well as washed it with vinegar water, and I also removed any excess feathers that may have been left behind. So after cleaning it thoroughly, I'm patting that dry, and I'm trying to get it as dry as I can so that my seasoning will adhere to it properly. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting half of my dry rub onto my chicken, as well as about a tablespoon of green seasoning, and the video for that is linked below. And about 2 tablespoons of jerk seasoning. I'm using this one, store-bought, the Walker's Wood brand. No, I'm not sponsored. I'm going to rub that into my chicken, make sure that I get all my seasoning evenly distributed in all the nooks, as well as under the skin, because I want my chicken to absorb all that wonderful flavor throughout. So I'm going to flip my chicken over and do the same for the other side. So I'm going in with the rest of my dry rub, as well as a tablespoon of my green seasoning and 2 tablespoons of my jerk marinade. I'm making sure that I get some of my seasoning in the pocket there, that's behind the thigh. I think a lot of people tend to neglect that area, but I want to get my seasoning throughout my bird. So I'm going to cover that and let that marinate for about an hour. Okay, so approximately an hour has passed and I'm just popping that into my oven while I begin to work on the dough for my festivals. In this bowl right here, I have a cup and a half of all-purpose flour that I sifted already, and to that I'm going to add a half a cup of cornmeal, then 1 tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of baking powder, and a half a cup of sugar. I'm using light brown sugar, but if you have granulated sugar, that can be used as well. And about a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm going in with about half a teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg. I prefer fresh nutmeg, but if you have the one that's store-bought, that's in the container that's already grated, you can use that as well. Then I'm going in with clean hands. You can also use a spoon, but your hands are the best tool for this. So here I have 2/3 of a cup of whole milk, and I'm just going in with a few drops of vanilla extract. I don't like too much vanilla in my festivals, so I don't use a lot. So I'm gonna pour my milk into my dry mixture, and I'm going in with my hands again and mixing that. Okay, so I'm pouring a little at a time, and I'm gradually bringing my dough together. Because I don't want it to be too wet. So after my dough comes together, I'm gonna start kneading. I'm just using the dough to pick up the rest of dry ingredients that's left behind. And this is what's left of my milk after my dough has come together. So I really didn't use all that amount. Then I'm going to cover that with a damp paper towel and set that aside for about 15 minutes. So my dough has rested for 15 minutes, and I have a plate here with some flour to rest my dumplings on. The dough is a bit sticky because remember you have all that sugar in there, so what I'm going to do is to just put some flour on there as well as my hands so that I can start rolling my dumplings. And this is about the size that I want. and I managed to get 1 dozen from the dough. My non-stick skillet has been heating with some canola oil, and I made the mistake of heating the oil too much before I started to add my dumplings, so when I began to fry them, they actually browned up too quickly. So I'm going in with half the amount. And to be honest, the taste of these actually came out great. However, they were a bit tough. I don't know if it's because I actually put them in my oven after I finished frying them. But this is a recipe that I'm constantly adjusting and testing. So as soon as I get it right, I'll do a detailed video. My chicken has been in my oven for about an hour, and I'm going in with a sprinkle of this light beer. If you're using beer, you don't necessarily have to use light, but that is what I had in my fridge at the time. And trust me guys, it actually added a lot of flavor. So I put my chicken back in my oven for 45 minutes, and this is what it's looking like, nice and golden. So flavorful. And the total cook time for this chicken was 1 hour and 45 minutes. Oh, and I almost forgot, I did go in with another sprinkling of my beer, and I basted it in the pan juices a few times before I took it out of my oven. And there you have it guys, delicious jerk chicken done in the oven. And let me just say, this chicken did not disappoint. It's been a pleasure having you in my kitchen today, and I hope that you can find some inspiration from this meal. And please don't forget to tag me on Instagram at JUENFO_. I'd love to see how yours turn out. Thank you so much for cooking with me today, and remember, live life to the fullest and just enjoy food.